Hello, my name is Roberto Busó-García. I'm the director of the Zaentz Innovation Fund in Film and Media at Johns Hopkins University, and the director of the Film and Media Master's Program at the university as well. So I've been a storyteller my whole life. I particularly as an audiovisual content creator, third grade shooting 8mm film, doing puppet shows, all that stuff. I went to college, I did not study film, but I ended up being, after college, working in New York as Spike Lee's assistant for a year. And that opened my eyes to the industry, how the industry had the different kinds of resources to tell the stories that I had been trying to tell in other ways. After that, I went back to my native Puerto Rico, where I made my first feature-length film, Paging Emma. Thanks to that film, HBO offered me a job in New York. So I moved back to New York City. At HBO, I started as a film and talent evaluator for HBO films and miniseries and the acquisitions department, and I moved on to be an acquisitions executive. Now, during my time at HBO, I wrote and directed a miniseries, a dramatic miniseries for PBS, but the regional PBS in Puerto Rico and Florida, called Amores. And I wrote a lot of screenplays. I started watching a lot of television. I had, not done a lot of that until then. During that time, I would see 400 movies a year, trying to figure out how they work, why they didn't work, whether HBO should buy them, what part of HBO should buy them, etc. I traveled around the world going to festivals, meeting filmmakers and executives at the same time. And, in 2009, I decided to drop that particularly wonderful life because I needed to go back to telling stories. And that's where I created Alchemia Films, based out of Puerto Rico, and I ended up making my second feature film, The Condemned, which was distributed by Strand Releasing in the US and HBO in television here, and got a theatrical release and DVD and shown around festivals and in the world. Now, about 3.5 years ago, it was when the US release of The Condemned, I started conversations with Johns Hopkins. At the time, the dean and President Daniels were already thinking that film and media could play a larger part in what the university did in Baltimore for the community at large, but as well as part of their humanities programs. I started working at Hopkins as a screenplay teacher at the undergraduate level. And when about 2 years ago, I was approached to design and run a film and media graduate program, Master of Arts program. So I did that, and around the same time, we were approached by the Zaentz Charitable Foundation to create what has turned out to be this wonderful initiative. The first time I felt the power of film was in third grade, when we had to give those, reports on whatever, Jupiter or Saturn, and people got up there with, the cardboard, and the styrofoam planets and all that. I had been playing around with my parents' 8mm camera. So I said, well, the solar system is much larger than a styrofoam ball. So I drew and animated the solar system. I had learned by reading the World Book Encyclopedia about persistence of vision and how that translates to animation. And the day I had to give my book report, I showed up with the projector, and I projected it on the screen. And not only did my peers love it, but the teacher loved that she just kept bringing other classes to see it. And I saw the power of film. You can bring people together. You can affect people, not only affect them, And I was bit by that bug. I was like, my God. And I love the process of it too, and thinking about it, But so I've been, I love so many filmmakers that make me feel and think at the same time, that challenge me in a way that make me feel in a different way than I thought I could feel.